autism has definitely increased. So that's one of the ways that they decide to try to dim the light of these new kids that are coming up with these special gifts. It's through medicines and injections, and it's a very dangerous thing. If you're going to have a child these days, you need to put together a birth plan that's issued and given to the hospital before the baby comes. And in that birth plan, you need to state specific things, like there's no vaccines to be given to my baby, none of those, no eye drops given to my baby. The baby should be brought directly to my chest immediately and not taken away from me for any particular reason. Do not disconnect the placenta. The placenta should stay connected. I want a lotus birth. Let all of the nutrients come out of that placenta into that baby. Before you even get to the point of getting to 9 months, you should be definitely changing your diet if you haven't already. If your diet's not that great, because breastfeeding organic milk to a baby is great, but if you're eating GMOs and toxic food, you're still going to give the same thing to your baby. You might as well go buy Similac. Okay? The clothing that you put on your baby should be organic clothing. Your diaper should be organic. Okay? You shouldn't be putting Pampers or whatever they call the next brand out here now on your baby, because those things contain toxic chemicals that are designed to give different types of rashes, so that you can go then in turn and go buy rash medicine to put on the baby's bottom, which then, it's just a cycle, guys. They've got you in this loop. It got you, it's a very well thought out system. A very well thought out system. A lot of people don't realize that fast food companies are well vested into pharmaceuticals, and pharmaceuticals are well vested into fast food companies. Why is that? It's part of the cycle. Get them on the fast food, get them hooked on it, make them sick, get them on pharmaceuticals, and they all profit from it, and they just laugh at us. They just laugh at us. So it's a system, but it's a system that's been installed for tens of thousands of years, or even more. It's really unfortunate, but we're getting to the point now where we're starting to recognize and realize it and break through. And thankfully, a lot of information like this has been left behind, because just seeing something like this and understanding how advanced you have to be, and the fact that we now can even perceive this and understand this and figure this out, lets us know that we're going in the right direction consciously. We're starting to really wake up, and we're starting to really be able to put things together and understand things and put pieces of the puzzle together. And once we can do that, then now it's almost like when ENLIL came back to the Garden of Eden. ENLIL, not Yahweh. Yahweh's in your DNA. That's where Yahweh is, what we talked about yesterday. You are God, this divine energy, the divine force that flows through all of our bodies, that enhances and takes us to the next level. But ENLIL was the one who came to the Garden of Eden. Now, when he came back to the Garden of Eden and realized that his brother ENKI had told the humans, Adam and Eve, about knowledge and wisdom and who they truly were, knowledge of self, and they put on clothes and became ashamed and everything else. The apple was knowledge. It wasn't a real fruit that you pluck from a tree and bite into. It was knowledge. When he realized that they had gained a specific amount of knowledge and became to another level of sentience and realized who their true self was, he got angry, and then he banished them from the garden. Now, who was ENLIL? He was also known as Satan, the Lord of Eden, in ancient texts. So now you see where you get Satan from. It's ENLIL. Now, what he did was he played the big mind trick. He then fooled everybody into believing that his brother ENKI was a serpent and the evil one, when it was really him. So when you read the Sumerian tablets, you begin to find out that after the Great Flood and all this happened, and they reestablished civilization, and people were multiplying on the planet in incredible numbers, if they got too loud or he got too pissed off with them for whatever reason, because they were having their own internal battles or they were just making too much noise, he would just cull them. In other words, he would just kill them off. Kill 100,000, kill 200,000. He would starve villages, just purposely dry out he would give an order to dry out their fields. This is Yahweh, but they're thinking it's the creator of the universe, but it's really just a flesh and blood person like us that puts on his pants one leg at a time. Just a little bit more knowledgeable, had more advanced technology, knew a little bit more, and because of that, we became a cargo cult. We deified them. So, but he tricked everybody to believing that his brother ENKI was the evil. His brother ENKI actually had empathy for humans, married a human, and was banished from his own home planet because of that. And when he did the genetic modification under the order of his brother, he came up with the suggestion, but his brother put the decree in, ENLIL, to do the genetic modification. He was just trying to stop the war at that time. But when he did the genetic modification, he gave us a little bit extra. A little bit extra. He gave us, he genetically modified Homo sapiens in a way that we have the capability of surpassing even them. And then when his brother ENLIL discovered this, he was irate and went crazy. He went ballistic on his brother. Because he says, how could you do this? That they outnumber us, they can become greater than us and more intelligent than us, then where do we fit in? This is one of the reasons why they didn't create, a lot of people say, why did they just create a lot of robots? Well, they even knew about that. AI was no good for them. They created a cybernetic organism that went on a trip with Gilgamesh. So if you read one of the oldest texts out there, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the true and full story of Noah, Gilgamesh was a half human, half Anunnaki. Okay, he was the son of ENKI and the son of a human woman, and he was a giant, massive, strong man. There's depictions of him holding a lion with one arm up on his chest. Okay, this was a massive dude, and he goes on this journey. But they give him this R2D2 type of thing to go on this journey with him. It was artificially intelligent.